Known to the world as the Enlightened One, the Apostle of Peace and an inspiration for all, this is the place where Lord Buddha was born, Lumbini, in the southwestern plains of Nepal. Buddhism spread from the Himalayan foothills to Sri Lanka, Japan and China. As Buddhism spread far and wide, the birthplace of Lord Buddha, Lumbini, assumed even greater significance with growing number of visitors. However, after Ripumala's visit in the 14th century, Lumbini and Kapilvastu slowly converted into bushland, and Lumbini was almost forgotten. The discovery of the Ashoka pillar by then General Khargasamsher and Dr. Alois Führer, with inscription in 1896 establishing Lumbini as the birthplace of Lord Buddha in the district of Rupandehi, Nepal, a sacred pilgrimage for the Buddhist world. According to Buddhist literary sources, around 623 BC, Queen Maya Devi was on her way to Devdaha, her maternal home. Enjoying the luxuriance of Lumbini garden, suddenly a pain she feels, knowing what is to come. She enters the Pushkarini pond to cleanse herself. After emerging from the pond, she proceeded towards the north, looking for some support. She holds a branch of a sal tree, and there a child is born who was to become Lord Buddha, the Enlightened One. The engraving on the nativity sculpture depicts the moment of Buddha's birth. The visit of Emperor Ashoka in 249 BC is significant because of the installation of the Ashoka pillar with inscriptions that provide epigraphic evidence. The inscriptions describe King Piyadasi Ashoka, the beloved of the gods, in the 20th year of reign, himself made a royal visit. Shakyamuni Buddha was born here, therefore, the birth spot, marker stone, was worshipped and a stone pillar was erected. The Lord having been born here, the tax of the Lumbini village was reduced to the 8th part only. Emperor Ashoka also reset the nativity statue and built many stupas and Buddhist edifices beside the Ashoka pillar. According to the Chinese traveller Huinsang, who visited Lumbini in the 7th century, the top of the pillar carried a statuette of a horse. However, the horse was knocked off by a thunderbolt that struck the pillar. Several accounts of ancient travellers and the findings of research scholars and archaeologists establish Tilaurakot, 28 kilometers west of Lumbini, as the capital from where King Suddhodana ruled. According to Purnachandra Mukherjee, an Indian archaeologist, Tilaurakot fulfills all the external conditions mentioned in the Buddhist literatures. This is where the Buddha spent his childhood as Prince Siddhartha, as he grew up to adulthood in regal splendor. As a worthy suitor, he married Yashodhara, a princess of the neighboring kingdom of Kolia. Devdaha, 55 kilometers northeast of Lumbini, was the capital of Kolia kingdom.
Devdaha is referred in many Buddhist texts. So Devdaha should be there. And the story of, the Kapilvastu kingdom, without concerning with Devdaha, cannot be complete. The whole region is called Devdaha. So there are many archaeological sites, and still we have to wait to tell you the exact spot. This represents Devdaha.
The focus still remains around Tilaurakot, where Prince Siddhartha and Princess Yashodhara are blessed with a son, Rahul. However, the turn of events and Prince Siddhartha's encounter with the harsh realities of life take him in a different direction. These experiences compel him to reflect deeply on the meaning of existence, and at midnight on Monday, during the full moon of Ashad, July, he renounced all worldly pleasures as he rode his horse Kantaka out through the eastern gate of Tilaurakot palace in search of salvation, accompanied by his charioteer Channa. Years of severe penance, meditation and travels followed as he adopted the middle path until he attained enlightenment in Bodh Gaya of present-day India. Lord Buddha delivered his first religious sermon in Sarnath, India, and a series of religious discourse and preaching followed. 6 years later, at the invitation of his father King Suddhodana, he returned to Kapilvastu from Rajgriha after attaining Buddhahood. The king, his father, had made arrangements for the Buddha and his disciples to stay in Kudan, 4.5 kilometers south of Tilaurakot, because of his refusal to stay at the royal palace. Later, Lord Buddha, along with 300 disciples, was invited to Tilaurakot by the palace. This was a congregation attended by childhood friends and others, besides disciples, who accompanied Lord Buddha through his tours. All of Buddha's curious friends and relatives were in attendance, all except Princess Yashodhara.
Yashodhara was not there. So later on, Buddha, there is a story, then Buddha asked to Suddhodana, I saw everybody, but where is Yashodhara? So Suddhodana told that she is waiting you in her room. Then Buddha, he went to see Yashodhara. So they met each other in her room.
During the sojourn of Lord Buddha and his disciples in Kudan, his son Rahul, other family members, friends and associates entered the ascetic order. It continued for years, and thousands of Shakya youths were now the members of the ascetic order and avowed to non-violence. That made Kapilvastu militarily a very weak kingdom. And this was the right time for those opposed to the prosperous growth of Kapilvastu to strike hard. King Vidudhava of Koshala, remembering the insult and his vow against the Shakyas, attacked Kapilvastu. Vidudhava gained victory over Kapilvastu easily. Shakyas fled from Kapilvastu for the safety of their lives. Later, Vidudhava's army encircled the Shakyas in the jungle of Sagarhawa, and they are believed to have massacred thousands of Shakyas out of vengeance. Following the tragic incident at Sagarhawa, Lord Buddha is believed to have visited and comforted the people one last time. After that, Lord Buddha continued preaching and delivering sermons in different parts of India, attracting disciples and a large following wherever he went. By now, Buddhism had spread far and wide, and the enlightened one had already started contemplating Mahaparinirvana. As he was approaching 80 years of age, the visionary had already realized there was not much time left and had decided to attain Mahaparinirvana in Kushinara. Lord Buddha is believed to have shared his thoughts with his cousin and favorite disciple Anand. Lord Buddha attained Mahaparinirvana in Kushinara, and his relic was divided into 8 equal parts. The Koliyas received one part and built a stupa in Ramagram, which stands sacred even today. Besides Shakyamuni Buddha, Kapilvastu was blessed with 2 more Buddhas in ancient times. They were Krakuchanda Buddha and Kanakmuni Buddha. Gotihawa, one of the major pilgrimage sites is sanctified by the birth of Krakuchanda Buddha. This has been ascertained by the pillar erected by Emperor Ashoka in 249 BC. This is also an important site for the devotees. Another sacred site is Niglihawa, the birthplace of Kanak Muni, the second Buddha of Bhadrakalpa. This site shelters the Ashoka pillar broken into two pieces. The lower part, submerged in the ground, bears the inscription, while the upper part lies on the surface. Also significant is Tilaurakot, 3 kilometers northeast of Niglihawa. This rectangular fortified area is believed to be the natal town of Kanak Muni Buddha. Realizing the importance of Lumbini for world peace, the then United Nations Secretary-General U Thant envisaged a master plan for the development of Lumbini. In 1978, the master plan of Lumbini was approved by the United Nations and the government of Nepal, which Professor Kenjo Tange of Japan materialized. The master plan had three distinct components: sacred garden, monastic zone, and new Lumbini village. The focus of the design is the sacred garden located in the southern part. The objective here is to create an atmosphere of spirituality, peace, universal brotherhood, and non-violence. The sacred garden shelters the freshly restored ancient monuments at the center, with lush forest and water body surrounding the complex. The monastic zone is situated in the middle, with a forest area between the sacred garden and new Lumbini village. The zone is divided into two monastic enclaves by a central canal. There are 13 plots of land in the East Monastic Zone of Theravada, where numerous Buddhist organizations have constructed monasteries and meditation centers. In the East Monastic Zone, Sri Lanka Mahavihar is a major attraction, also because of the presence of the Bodhi tree. Legends say that the daughter of Emperor Ashoka nurtured the sapling of the ancient Bodhi tree in Sri Lanka. The Bodhi tree in the monastic zone is believed to be a progeny of the same tree that stood centuries ago. The preservation of a relic of Lord Buddha placed by the Sri Lankan President Rajapaksa himself has rendered the monastery even more sacred and venerated. Another relic has been placed by the Sri Lankan President at the foundation of a stupa. And 29 plots have been allocated in the West Monastic Zone for Mahayana schools of Buddhism. Various Buddhist countries and organizations have constructed vihars, and some of them are under construction. Panditaram International Vipassana Meditation Center, Myanmar, is located in this enclave. Vipassana, an ancient technique of meditation, means to see things as they are, and practice of Vipassana is the total healing of human suffering. It is believed that this meditation technique, rediscovered and practiced by Lord Buddha over 2,500 years ago. The northern part of the master plan area is being developed as the new Lumbini village, where the visitors can find comfortable hotels offering necessary facilities. The cultural center lies in the southern part of new Lumbini village. The Lumbini International Research Institute, LIRI, is one of the main attractions of Lumbini village. It's a treasure house of books and other documents for Buddhist scholars and researchers. All the artifacts discovered at the excavation sites have found a rightful place in the museum. The little artifacts and terracotta figurines, dating back thousands of years, provide clues and the missing links connected with the life of Lord Buddha. The Peace Pagoda at the far north of the Lumbini Master Plan is the tallest pagoda in the area. This has enhanced the beauty and importance of Lumbini. The peace flame, located at north of the sacred garden, has been spreading peace throughout the world. The flame was brought from the United Nations in New York in 1986 to integrate peace and harmony among the global community. Construction work at the site, as outlined by Professor Kenjo Tange in his master plan, continues even today. This has been one of the largest and most ambitious projects in Nepal that has withstood and overcome numerous obstacles to get to this stage.
UN Peace Committee बाट आउने जुन सहयोग राशि थियो त्यो सहयोग राशि हामीले अपेक्षित रूपमा त्यसलाई त्यो संस्थालाई नि त्यो समितिलाई नि त्यति परिचालन गर्न नसकेको अवस्थाको कारणले त्यति धेरै स्रोत निकाल्न सकिएन र हाम्रो आफ्नै अर्थतन्त्र यति बलियो अवस्थामा छैन कि त्यति धेरै ठुलो पैसा लगाएर 2-4 वर्षमै त्यसलाई सम्पन्न गर्न सक्ने अवस्थाको हाम्रो अर्थतन्त्र छैन। तर पनि नेपाल सरकारले जसै जसै राजस्वको क्षेत्र वृद्धि हुँदै गयो, सरकारको आम्दानी बढ्दै गयो, बजेटरी अङ्कहरू बढ्दै गए, त्यो अनुरूप प्राथमिकतामा राखेर लुम्बिनीमा पैसा थपिदिने गरेको छ। त्यसकारणले अहिले जुन हामी मास्टर प्लानको धेरै अंशहरू तयार भइसक्यो भन्छौँ, यो वास्तवमा हाम्रो आफ्नै देशको साधन स्रोत र बेला बेलामा मित्र राष्ट्रहरूले र मित्र दात्री संस्थाहरूले दिएको पैसाले हो।
Maya Devi Temple was excavated in 1992 under the joint initiative of Department of Archaeology, Government of Nepal and Buddhist Federation of Japan. The excavation work continued up to 1996. This excavation yielded many archaeological findings, the most notable being the marker stone that established the exact spot where Lord Buddha was born. Recognizing the value and importance of the marker stone, it has currently been housed in bulletproof glass. So what is the religious significance of Lumbini and what are the security concerns of such a valuable site?
4 विशेष धाम जहाँ जन्म लियो लुम्बिनी आज जो नेपालमा पर्छ, जहाँ उहाँले ज्ञान प्राप्त गर्यो बुद्ध गया र प्रथमचोटि जहाँ उहाँले धर्मचक्र परिवर्तन गर्नुभयो सारनाथ र जहाँ उहाँले महापरिनिर्वाण प्राप्त गर्नुभयो कुशीनगर, यी तीनटा चाहिँ अहिले भारतमा पर्दछ र यी चारैवटा स्थलको उहाँले आफैले व्याख्या गरेर जानु भएको हुनाले पनि विशेष गरेर सम्पूर्ण बौद्ध मार्गीहरूले महत्त्व राख्ने स्थान हो। जब यो चारवटा तीर्थस्थलको चाहिँ मेरा अनुयायीहरूले दर्शन गर्नुहुन्छ तब मसँग प्रत्यक्ष दर्शन भएको जस्तै पुण्य लाभ गर्नुहुनेछ भनेर जानु भएको हुनाले लुम्बिनीको विश्व बौद्ध जगतमा ठूलो यसको महत्त्व छ।
भगवान बुद्धको पवित्र जन्मस्थल लुम्बिनी धार्मिक, सांस्कृतिक र पुरातात्विक महत्त्वको सम्पदा हो। यसको सुरक्षाको लागि 4 किसिमका सुरक्षा निकायहरू परिचालन गरिएको छ। कोषको आन्तरिक सुरक्षा, ग्रुप 4, सशस्त्र प्रहरी बल र नेपाल प्रहरी। सुरक्षामा प्रभावकारिता ल्याउनको लागि 20 केबी को जेनेरेटरद्वारा रातको समयमा पनि मायादेवी मन्दिर वरपर पूर्ण रूपमा बत्तीको व्यवस्था गरेका छौं।
Lumbini is a converging point for people from all walks of life, serious devotees, totally immersed in prayer, research, observation or deep meditation. Casual visitors, aspiring themselves of the religious and historical significance of the sacred sites, and curious onlookers seeking answers to the many unresolved questions. For many visitors, this is an opportunity to unveil the myriad aspects of birth and life of Buddha shrouded in mystery, and they dissolve in the serene surroundings of Lumbini Gardens. From the early visits of Chinese and other travelers to dignitaries of modern day, Lumbini welcomes all with the same love and compassion. Lumbini, the sacred pilgrimage for over 600 million Buddhists,